I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And today, I'll be sharing on the benefits of making water offering. On the 11th of November, I had shared on how to make offerings to the Buddha. And today, I will share on the benefits of making water offerings. These are from the teachings of my Guru, His Eminence, the 25th Samtuku Rinpoche. I will share the link later in my Facebook post so that you may wish to visit for further information and better understanding. The practice of making water offering to the Buddhas is to generate wealth merits needed for our spiritual practice to be successful. Although making water offerings is a more common one due to easy availability of water, it is still a very powerful practice to help increase our merits and cut down our miserliness. Water is said to have the 8 qualities, with each representing a quality that you will develop in the future as a result of offering water with good motivations. Your ethics will be pure because the water that you offer is cool. Because the water is delicious, you will create the cause to be able to enjoy delicious food. The lightness of the water indicates that your mind and body will be fit. The water's softness results in gentle mind stream. A clear mind results from the water's clearness. The water being free from bad smell will purify your karmic obscuration. Because the water does not hurt the stomach, your body will be free from illness. It being easy on the throat indicates that you will have pleasant speech. In Tibetan Buddhist practice, we make 8 bowls of water offerings to represent offerings of our attachments to our body, speech, and mind, and the 5 sensory attachments, which are the pleasant sight, pleasant smell, food that tastes nice, hearing good things, and pleasant touch. With offerings of the 8 bowls of water, we are imagining that we are offering our attachments to the Buddhas in order to dispel it. When we give something away, we don't have it anymore. Just like giving a present, it's bad manners to take it back, right? The giving away is our wish, our commitment towards eliminating our negative traits. Of course, it's not going to be magically going away, and you still need to practice to eliminate these negativities. Our offerings will gain the merits necessary for our spiritual practice to be smooth, to be free of obstacles, and at the very least, to have obstacles easily solved. Other than eliminating our negativities, we are also creating beneficial causes towards our practice. So, making 8 bowls of water offerings have exactly the same meaning as making the 8 sensory offerings of water for drinking, water for washing the feet of the Buddha, flowers, incense, light, perfume, food, and sound, as water represents these peaceful sensory offerings. We should make as many sets of water offerings as we can. Offerings of water for drinking that represents nourishment is a direct counter to our attachment to food and create the cause for us to gain merits, to develop generosity and purify our ordinary perceptions. Offering of water for washing the feet of the Buddha generates humility and symbolizes the purification of our karma and obscurations. Offerings of flowers is a direct counter to our attachment to beautiful sight and create the cause for us to realize the impermanence of nature and for us to be reborn in pleasant environments that are conducive to our spiritual practice. Offering of incense purifies the environment to invite the Buddha and symbolizes morality, ethics, and discipline. It helps to create the cause to be able to hold our vows. Well, did you know that Magada Zangmo is the one who introduced the offerings of incense? With her sincere prayer and offerings of incense, Buddha accepted her invitation to visit, and the people in her town was moved by Buddha's teachings to convert to Buddhism. How powerful is that? Offering of light is to counter the darkness of the mind, the ignorance, and to develop the mental clarity of all wisdom, to be able to understand the Dharma. Offering of perfume or scent. It counters our ignorance, our aggression, and attachment to pleasant smell. Like offerings of incense, it creates the cause for the outer environment to be purified and perfect. Offering of food is to counter our desire for good food and create the cause for us to never be hungry and always to have the means or resources for our living. Offering of sound is the direct counter to our attachments towards hearing nice or pleasant things or praises. Offering of sound will create the cause for us to achieve Buddha's wisdom and the compassion that arises from that wisdom. When we make water offerings continuously, we reinforce our minds to be rid of our attachments. As shared, we gain the merits to receive the positive. Offerings of water is a direct counter to the lack of awareness and creates the merits for us to accomplish in our meditational practice. Many of our practices requires our focus on the act of offerings in the visualization. It stops interfering thoughts and to fully concentrate. Example, when we are lacking in awareness, during water offerings, we may spill the water, or we may even fill it up too much to the brim, or not filling enough to the level that the guideline is. The guideline is actually 1 rice grain from the lid of the bowl. And also, in between the placing of the water, it's also 1 rice grain apart. So, if we are not aware, we may place them too far or too near. And it's, so it's really a practice of focusing and to develop that concentration. So all these guidelines are to help us to learn to focus. Over time, we will develop the strong concentration that will be needed for our higher practices. One of the preliminary requirements to receive higher practices is 100,000 bowls of water offering. Yes, 100,000. Now, I understand why. In doing the offering, you are training your mind daily to focus continuously until you reach 100,000. So by then, if you had put in the effort to focus, you would have developed the ability to concentrate and your mind will be stable. You will also fulfill your commitment to the 3 jewels and to yourself, that you will go all the way despite any obstacles that may arise. To recap, water offerings made with good motivations help us to gain merits that are needed to remove obstacles from progressing in our spiritual path, to help create causes to have the positive conditions to be able to practice while helping us to overcome our negativities that is holding us back. So as such, I will end it here now and I'll move on to take some questions. Right. From Pastor Adeline. Why do we make 8 bowls of water offerings? Not 1, not 3, or etc. Also, there are people who make 7 bowls of water offerings instead of 8. May I know why? You can make as many bowls of water offerings as you wish, but in our practice, because we are making 8 bowls, is due to our offering of the sensory attachments, and to gain the eight types of conditions that for our practices. The first 3 is the body, speech, and mind, and then the other is the 5 sensory, which is as it is for our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our ears, and our touch. So the 8 bowls are actually addressing this. And as for the 7, that I will have to, I do not know now, so that one I will have to get back to you on that. Okay, from Yi Yin Teo. What do you mean by ordinary perception? Ordinary perception would be to mean that what we perceive with our eyes, which is, we could be tainted, which means but it's best that I were to get the proper answers and to answer you at a later time. What is the pleasant environment that will be good for our spiritual practice? The pleasant environment will be that you'll be able to do your practice, in comfort, where you may not be lacking maybe in nourishment, or you may not be lacking in, or in conditions that that will help you to be able to concentrate and not be distracting. Let's say maybe a quiet place for practice, or maybe a place where you can focus and concentrate better, and maybe the conditions will arise for you to receive teachings or guidance in your practices. All sorts of conditions that you will need, towards gaining towards your spiritual path. Question from Valentina. Since offering 8 bowls of water, since offering 8 bowls of water offering represents the 8 sensory offerings, should we still offer the representation of the 8 sensory offerings? Yes, you should. If you are able to, it would be good that you do. And there's no limitations as to how much offerings that you can do. The more the better, because you'll be gaining the merit, and at the same time you'll be helping towards eliminating your negative traits, especially miserliness. From Chris, what do you mean 1 rice grain from the bowl on the guideline on water level in the offering bowls? It's like 1 grain of rice, because we fill up the water, the rim, you can't fill it right up to the rim, so you we take the guideline of 1 rice grain away from the rim of the bowl. So it's that way, when you have a guideline, you are able to concentrate and focus that you pour right up to that, and rather than it's over or you spill it, or it's under. So it's a form of concentration as well. From Yi Yin Teo, what are the 8 types of condition for our practice? This is what you said. This is what you said that we will get from offering 8 bowls of water. As I've mentioned, all the qualities and the causes that will be created from the offerings, that would be basically, it's actually eliminating what is in our minds. So, but let me get back to you on that, so that I'm able to get better answer for you, and to make sure that my answer is correct. So So right, is there any more questions? I don't see. Oh yes, from right, this is a question from Yin Teo. It is out of offerings, but it's okay. Do we have to convert to Buddhism in order to practice Dharma? No, we don't. Because Buddha's teachings is basically addressing our daily lives and how we get out of suffering. So as such, if whatever religion that you may be in, or whether you are not in a religion, you can still practice the Dharma. It's applicable to our daily lives and all the actions that we do, and it's to help us to overcome our sufferings, that we may gain that better peace, and also to treat others kindly. So no, you don't have to. And from Pastor Adeline, Sophie, I don't think you have explained the 8 bowls of water offerings clearly. Please reply again by leaving a comment before tomorrow's live stream session. I will, thank you. This is from Tenzin Zamka. Is it wrong to think like this? When a guest comes to visit, I offer 1, water to clean the feet and hand. 2, water to quench thirst after long distance travel. 3, flowers to make my place pleasant to my guests. 4, fragrance incense to place more pleasant. 5, butter lamp or light when dusk befalls the land. 6, food or snacks for my guests. And 7, soft music to provide good ambience for my guests. No, it is not wrong. This is, if I'm, yes, actually you can think it that way, but in our context, we would, this is in my context, we are offering to the Buddhas. So, but that one, okay, I will just leave it at that and say it's not wrong. Right, is there any more questions? Okay, I'll end the session tonight, and thank you for sharing your time with me. So I'll close it off with a dedication prayer. Jangje Singko Rinpoche, Mate Palang Deshi, Te Palang Pami Payang, Goni Gondu Pewashu, Toni Towa Rinpoche, Mate Palang Deshi, Te Palang Pami Payang, Goni Gondu Pewashu, Dasogini Sapa Dewadi, Tandan Rowa Guna Rampada, Te Pajesun Losan Trapai, Tamping Porin Desa Seshu, Gewa Kuntu Yanda Ramadan, Drami Choki Palang Chochi, Sadamang Yate Razon, Doje Changi Nopal Matusu, Gewa Dini Yododa, Lama Sang Yodoyoni, Jowa Chikamalu. De Salagopa Shu, Joki Kyopo Sungapa, Chosun Lampa Pewala, Geki Samasi Wadang, Junki Malu Samushu, Tadam Sungi Dosundan, Drewa Songi Latini, Gewa Losan Trapai, Tampa Yuriva, Yushi, Nimondele Sendele, Nimi Gunyandele, Nisenta to Delepel, Kuntu Sungi Jilo, Kuntu Sungi Ngojusu, Concho Sony Trasi, Jesu Lama Kusela Pincho, Lanka Trini Jojo Gay Badang, was some tempe draw me subsonic, draw a months at Tatoni, you she gawa raw equation number, Penlandela Mali, you challenge it and things in get sorry, Shapeshi Devado, then you she. Home Tompe Ngotro Malupa, then the Dala Salduso, Podam, then Palom Chotlam, Kepa Social Ship, then sell. Thank you.